Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This book review for you today is from Jeffery Deaver and Isabella Maldonado. Okay, I think I said that right. Maldonado. Yes, I did. This is called Fatal Intrusion, and it's the first book in a series called Sanchez Inherent. And let me tell you, I like certain types of crime shows on television. The FBI's, mostly just the first FBI series. I like NCIS. I like stuff like that's right there. It's no gore. It's no nothing really triggering, but it's right there at the cusp of being past cozy and just before thriller. I like that little pocket of entertainment when I watch television. Meanwhile, while I read books, I usually choose cozy, cozy, soft, mild. I go down. That's the road I usually go down. However, I'm a sucker for new series. So when I saw this and found out that it was the first book in a new series and that it was co-written by two authors, again, Jeffery Deaver and Isabella Maldonado, I thought I'm going to give this a shot. Now, it's nothing light. It's heavy. It's intense, but it was so good. So good. It starts off with a woman named Selena Sanchez who is attacked. When her sister finds out that she was attacked, she rushes to the hospital where her sister is at. As she rushes to the hospital and starts to hear the report, she's gutted. She's just gutted. Who is this special agent? This is Special Agent Carmen Sanchez. Not of the FBI. She was with the FBI at some point, but she's with Homeland Security. She gets to the hospital and she's racing and she's racing and she's racing and talking to this nurse, whatever, getting to where her sister is. And her sister looks like she just has a little band-aid on the top of her forehead. So Carmen is like, I can let out the breath I didn't know I was holding. You'll know what I mean by that. So Carmen's like, what's going on? Well, she was attacked. And as we learn deeper into the story, it was a focused attack. But what do you call it? Someone doing a good deed stepped in and saved Selena. And he was the one that was gravely injured. Okay? So, meanwhile, or should I say, at the outset, because of the focus, remember I said the attack had a focus? Because of the focus of the attack, Carmen knew that her sister, it was not a random attack towards her sister. She knew that it was something very specific, and it involved something where she would have to kind of like go over her boss's head. Now, she goes into work or wherever the FBI or the Homeland Security, even the local police are, like in circles about the attack. And everybody's like, it's just random. She was saved. Carmen is like, no, I want you to put her into special protection. Hide her in a safe house. Well, we don't know that it was a personalized attack, so therefore we don't have the resources to do it. Carmen says to her sister, you're going to come stay with me. At least my house is like Fort Knox. However, the sisters, who should be like this, can you see both fingers, are like this. There's a rift between them. There's a chasm between them. So Selena's like, heck no, no way. I'm in school. I'm not going to miss any school. You're like almost an hour away from where I go to school. No, no, it ain't happening. So Carmen comes up with another solution to put her sister in a safe place, at least until she can try to find who the unsub is. Now, there was a clue. The MO left a clue that involved some type of encryption that Carmen's not talented enough to break. She couldn't break the code. She couldn't encrypt it. So she goes to a place where you first meet this character. His name is Jake Heron. Okay, you first meet him. And when you first meet him, he's teaching. He's like a college professor. I can just picture How to Get Away with Murder, and you have row after row of students, and you have a professor, and he's talking to this class, and he's giving them. He's into technology, and he's speaking to this great big class. That's how I pictured him. Okay, so he looks out the door or the window of his classroom, and he locks eyes on someone that he hoped to never see again, and that's Carmen Sanchez. And he's like, what do you want? What are you doing here? And she goes, you know why. And he's like, oh man, you're calling in the favor. Yes, she owed Jake Heron a favor. And what she wanted from that favor is for Jake to encrypt, to decode that computer code that might get to the bottom of why her sister was attacked. As it turns out, it was a 2-layer encryption, and it needed a really talented individual, and there was no one better talented than Jake Heron. And I'm not going to even tell you in this video anyway what the MO was, what the encryption led to, and how they got any bit of a gateway into finding out who the unsub was. You have all of those things that you got to see unravel in this story. And believe me, you see them. And you're right there. And while you're there, you see a lot of friction between Carmen and Jake, and also between Carmen and whatever police agency is around. Could it be the police? Could it be the FBI? Could it be SWAT? That type of friction. And then you see the race against time, because let's just say Selena Sanchez was not the only victim in this story, or would be victim as it turns out. And what was happening. And I'm telling you, when I first got this book, like I have literally hundreds of books on NetGalley, they're just collecting and collecting and collecting, because I go into my reading slumps, right? So I sort my books out by month, and this was a book that was released September 1st, but I'm trying to get my September books done. And so I said, let me see if Libby has it. Nope, my library doesn't have it at Libby. Let me see if Hoopla has it. Nope, Hoopla didn't have it. But what I did have is 3 Audible credits that have been sitting there forever. So I used an Audible credit, and I got Fatal Intrusion. I think it was a 484-page book. Let's see. No, 434 pages. It was actually released in August, but for some reason I have it in my NetGalley as September. But in any event, I'm super, super glad I read it. So I'm glad I had the wrong date, because I needed to read this book. So I used an Audible credit, and instead of being 434 pages of reading, or say if I was using Kindle text-to-speech, I had the privilege and the benefit of listening to it by audio, which was well over 11 hours. I think it was 11 hours and 34 minutes. But I usually go 2 speed, 2.2, 2.3. So I did it in about 5 hours. And you had two narrators, one that did the female voices in the story quite naturally, and one that did the male voices in the story quite naturally. But your two main protagonists are Carmen Sanchez and Jake Herron. And I, I'm so glad that I got in on the first book. Okay. Yes, it's almost too much when it comes to danger, to crime, to, you know, and all that. But my goodness, does it promise to be a good, thrilling series. Especially because there's technology. And I like to consider myself a nerd and a geek. So there was that edge to the story that even made it better. So that's all I'm going to say for this. I've got to sit down and actually write the review. My written reviews are going to be nothing like my audio reviews, and my audio reviews are going to be nothing like my written reviews because they're two different formats quite naturally. But I just wanted to get this video made. Hopefully you'll check out this book, Fatal Intrusion, by Jeffery, Deaver, and Isabella Maldonado. And the publisher, by the way, is Thomas and Mercer. And as mentioned, I was able to get it via Audible. So you can get it Kindle, Audible, in print, whatever method, whatever format works most for you. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you with my next video.